In this video, we will discuss about the oral contraceptives and the drugs that are used for the erectile dysfunction. So let us begin our discussion with the oral contraceptives. Now, oral contraceptives are the drugs that are used for reversible suppression of fertility. Okay, they are used for the reversible suppression of the fertility. Now, in females, we have discussed in the previous video, there are primarily two sex hormones. One is the progesterone, another is the estrogens. Now, estrogens we have discussed, they consist of estradiol, estratriol, and estrone. Okay, so these estrogens and progestins, they are basically synthesized or produced in response to certain hormones. A follicle stimulating hormone, or FSH, it stimulates the production of estrogens, whereas the hormone LH, or luteinizing hormone, it stimulates the production of progestins. Okay, now these oral contraceptives, they act by inhibiting the release of gonadotropins from the pituitary gland and reduce the secretion of this FSH and LH. Now, because of the decreased or inhibition of release of these hormones, the progestins and estrogens are not produced, or their production is reduced, and this ultimately results in the inhibition of ovulation. So, this was the mechanism of action of these oral contraceptives that are used as inhibitors of ovulation. Okay, so they inhibit the release of gonadotropins from the pituitary gland and reduces the secretion of FSH and LH. Reduction in the secretion of these hormones ultimately results in the inhibition of ovulation. Okay, now there are two approaches that are used in the case of oral contraceptives. We have two methods. Number one is the combination method, and another is the sequential method. Now let us first discuss the combination method. In combination method, the drug or the tablet that is used, it contains both the estrogen and the progestin. Now these estrogen and the progestin within the tablet are used for 21 days, and then after a gap of 7 days, this dosage regimen is repeated. Okay, now this combination method, we have two types of drugs. One are the monophasic, another are the biphasic and triphasic drugs. In the case of monophasic, same amount of drug is present in the tablet throughout the days of the menstrual cycle. However, this biphasic and triphasic tablets, they consider the variation of the hormones progesterone and estrogens during the menstrual cycles, and accordingly the dose of progesterone and active progesterone component and active estrogen component in the tablet is varied. Okay, so this is a monophasic, and this was the biphasic. Now the orthodox method that was originally used was the sequential method. Now this in sequential method, what was done, that the initially estrogen was only used, and then at the end of menstrual cycle progestin was used. Okay, so this method is however not used because it was leading to complications. Now coming to the categories of oral contraceptives, we have three categories of oral contraceptives, namely called as first generation oral contraceptives, second generations, and the third generation oral contraceptives. Now the first generation of oral contraceptive, they use higher amount of estrogens and the progestin. The second generation, they uses a reduced amount of steroids, and the third generation, they use newer progestins, and in these cases no estrogen is used. Okay, because estrogen use is also implicated in the certain types of cancer. So third generation or of oral contraceptives are considered safer in comparison to that of second and first generation of oral contraceptives. Now coming to the drugs in the syllabus, the first drug in the syllabus is mifepristone. Now if you look at the structure of this drug, mifepristone, it is like this. Okay, so you can see it is in derivative of an steroid. Endostane is the ring system, C19, and is a 19 NOR derivative, as you cannot see this angular methyl group at this position. Okay, it is absent. So it is a 19 NOR derivative steroid. It is a 19 NOR steroid, norethindrone derivative, and it is a competitive inhibitor of progesterone at its receptor and results in the anti-progesterone activity. Another drug in the syllabus is norgestrel. Now this norgestrel, the structure of this drug is like this. Norgestrel is like this. Again you can see it is again a steroidal structure, and steroidal structure having divide of this angular methyl group at this position. So it is again a 19 NOR steroid derivative, and norgestrel is a racemic mixture, and this drug levonorgestrel, it is the active levoenantiomer of this norgestrel. Okay. In addition to this, in the structure of norgestrel, you can see the angular methyl group at this position has been replaced with the ethyl group. So it is having a ethyl group in addition, in place of the normal methyl group that is present in the steroidal structure. Okay, so this was about the norgestrel and levonorgestrel. Now this these have ethyl group at the position 13th. This is position number 13, and they exhibit the lower androgenic side effect. Okay, now norgestrel is used as an oral contraceptive. Likewise, levonorgestrel is also used. However, levonorgestrel is also used in the birth implants, the birth control implants. Okay, so this was about the drugs of oral contraceptives in the syllabus. Now coming to the drugs for treatment of erectile dysfunction. Now erectile dysfunction, it is defined as the inability to sufficiently maintain the erection of penis for vaginal penetration, and this can occur from various reasons. The reasons can vary from purely psychological reasons to those of complex medical conditions. Okay, the reasons can vary from the purely psychological reasons to complex physical and medical conditions. Now these medical conditions can again be hormonal or non-hormonal. So we can have endocrine or non-endocrine reasons for or causes for the ED. So in all, you can see that the ED is a complex process dysfunction. Okay, erectile dysfunction is a complex process, and some areas of research where the drugs are being explored for use as for treatment of erectile dysfunction are the drugs that reduce the oxidative stress, and second is the category of drugs that are inhibitors of phosphodiesterase type 5, and third is the testosterone replacement therapy. Okay, so in the syllabus we have the drugs under the category of phosphodiesterase type 5 inhibitors. So let us briefly discuss the mode of action of this types of drug. So mode of action of phosphodiesterase type 5 inhibitors. Now in normal conditions, the smooth muscles of the penis are contracted. Okay, in normal condition the smooth muscles of the penis are contracted, and however upon sexual stimulations a sequence of steps happen, and that ultimately lead to the erection of penis. And first step is upon sexual stimulation nitric oxide is released from the non-adrenergic non-cholinergic nerve fibers, also called as NANC, non-adrenergic and non-cholinergic nerve fibers. The release of nitric oxide, it activates this guanylyl cyclase and increases the cyclic GMP. Simultaneously, acetylcholine is released from the parasympathetic nerves, which activates adrenyl cyclase and increases the cyclic AMP. Okay, so release of nitric oxide and release of acetylcholine. Now these two releases, okay, ultimately leads to reduction in the levels of intracellular calcium ions, and this reduction in the intracellular levels of calcium ion causes the smooth muscle relaxation. Now when the smooth muscles are relaxed, the blood fills in the corpora cavernosa of the penis. Because of relaxation, what happens? The blood fills in the lacunar space in the corpora cavernosa of the penis. Now because of the filling of the blood in this lacunar space, a pressure is built up on the subtunical venules and they are compressed. Okay, subtunical venules are compressed, and because of this pressure, the venous outflow of the blood is blocked, and because the venous outflow of the blood is blocked, the erection is achieved. Okay, so this is the way the erection is achieved under normal conditions. Now phosphodiesterase type 5, what it does, it hydrolyzes this cyclic GMP and reverse the process. In normal conditions, this phosphodiesterase type 5, it hydrolyzes this GMP here and reverse the process. So inhibitors of this enzyme, they are used for treatment in ED. Okay, because the normal process of normal use of this phosphodiesterase type 5 is to hydrolyze this GMP and reverse the process. So this inhibitors of enzyme phosphodiesterase type 5, they are used for treatment in ED. Now coming to the drugs in the syllabus, the first drug in the syllabus is sildenafil. Now if you look at the structure of this drug, sildenafil, it is like this. Now you can see it consists of certain ring system. It consists of this ring system, 5-member ring system is a pyrazolone ring system, and this ring system is a pyrimidine ring system. So it is a pyrazolo-pyrimidine structure. Okay, it is a derivative of pyrazolo-pyrimidine derivative, and in addition to this, it contains this sulfonyl groups. Okay, so this is a pyrazolo. This is the ring system pyrazolo and pyrimidine derivative having a sulfonyl group. It is a selective inhibitor of phosphodiesterase type 5, and it is used through oral route. The plasma half-life of this sildenafil is only about 3 to 5 hours. Okay, so this was about the drug sildenafil. Another drug in the syllabus is tadalafil. Now if you look at the structure of this tadalafil, it consists of this tricyclic ring system. Okay, now this tricyclic ring system is called as carbolene, and this is basically a beta carbolene, which is a indole ring. This is indole ring system and fused to a pyridine ring system. This is a pyridine ring system. Okay, now the fusion of the rings, it happens at the ortho position of the indole ring system and is via the C3 and C4 of the pyridine ring system. Okay, so tadalafil, it is a beta carbolene. As we have discussed, carbolene is the name given to this tricyclic ring system, and in this case in the case of tadalafil, this is a beta carbolene derivative. A tricyclic structure consisting of an indole ring system. This is an indole ring system fused at ortho position. This is an ortho position by the C3 and C4 of the 1, 2, 3 and 4. This is C3 and C4 of the pyridine ring system. Now this tadalafil, it is selective inhibitor of phosphodiesterase type 5. The difference in the pharmacokinetics of this sildenafil and tadalafil is that this is longer acting drug than sildenafil, and it has got the plasma half-life of about 18 hours, and which is significantly more than that of sildenafil, that as we have discussed, it has got the half-life of 3 to 5 hours. Okay, so this was all about the drugs that are used for the treatment of ED in the syllabus. So this finishes with the drugs that are used as oral contraceptives and the drugs used for the treatment of erectile dysfunction. Okay.